Energy don't lie. You can dress it up. You can hide it behind a pretty smile or a friendly voice, but the truth always leaks through the cracks. When somebody's spirit ain't right, you feel it before you understand it. It hits your chest, your intuition, your peace. It's like your soul knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. And that's the thing most people ignore. They listen to words, they look at history, they trust titles like friend, family, day one. But your spirit don't care about none of that. It reads what's real. It reads what's underneath. It reads intention. When you start leveling up, you start noticing things. Not because you suddenly became smarter, but because your energy got clearer. Growth sharpens your sight. It makes the quiet moments louder. You start seeing who's clapping for you and who's clapping just because everyone else is. You feel the difference between someone supporting your journey and someone studying it. You feel when someone's presence gives you strength and when their presence slowly drains you without saying a word. That's energy. That's truth. And it never lies. People can lie. Words can lie. Smiles definitely lie. But someone's energy will always expose the parts of them they try to keep hidden. You'll notice it in conversations, how a person talks about you when you're not doing well versus how they talk when you're winning. Some people only love you when you're beneath them. They love you when you're stuck, confused, doubting yourself. They love you when you need them. But the moment you don't, the moment you stand on your own, the vibe shifts. Suddenly they're distant, dry, or passive aggressive. That's because your growth threatens what they built in their mind. They didn't love you, they loved the version of you they could control. Energy don't lie when jealousy walks in the room either. You'll see it in the eyes. You'll hear it in the small comments, backhanded compliments, jokes with too much truth in them, silence when you expected applause. Jealousy don't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it pretends. Sometimes it acts supportive while secretly hoping you fail just enough to keep them comfortable. And sometimes the most dangerous energy comes from the people closest to you. Not because they're evil, but because they're unhealed. Unchecked ego, insecurity, envy, they all create demons inside people that they don't even realize they're carrying. You'll feel it when someone only shows up when they need something. You'll feel it when you're always pouring into someone who never pours back. You'll feel it when your success becomes a mirror for their lack of effort, and suddenly they start treating you different. That change ain't random. It's energy exposing what's real. The more you elevate, the more sensitive you become to energy. Your peace becomes valuable. Your space becomes sacred. You stop forcing conversations that leave you tired. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop sitting at tables where you're not spiritually fed. And when you really start respecting your energy, watch how fast your life starts cleaning itself. People fall off. Situations dry up. Old circles start feeling small. And at first it might feel lonely, but that's just alignment making room for better. You can't grow around people who don't want to see you grow. You can't evolve in environments built on envy. You can't find peace next to someone whose heart is full of quiet anger toward you. But you don't need to fight them, expose them, confront them, or hate them. Just trust what you feel and move accordingly. Your spirit picks up frequencies your mind didn't process yet. Honor that, because energy don't lie. And the faster you learn to trust it, the fewer mistakes you'll make with people. When someone's genuine, you feel lighter around them. You feel understood, supported, respected. You feel safe. Real energy contributes. It don't compete. It don't envy. It don't drain. It don't sabotage. It don't switch up depending on who's watching. Real energy is consistent. And when you find that, keep it close. But when the vibe feels off, even if you can't explain it, pay attention. That feeling is a message. That discomfort is a warning. That heaviness is protection disguised as intuition. Don't ignore it. Don't rationalize it. Don't let history make you blind. Trust what you feel, not what they present. Protect your space because your energy is the foundation of your future. And the truth is simple. If being around someone costs you your peace, you're paying too much. Support and silent sabotage live right next to each other. And that's why most people don't notice the difference until it's too late. The ones who hurt you the deepest are never the strangers. They're the ones close enough to study you, close enough to learn your weaknesses, close enough to clap for you in public and doubt you in private. And the craziest part is it's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, hidden under a mask of love, jokes, or just being honest. But you can feel it. You always feel it. Because real support lifts you and silent sabotage drains you slow. A person who truly supports you wants to see you win even when it's not convenient for them. They don't get jealous when your blessings come in. They don't switch their tone when you start rising. They don't downplay your dreams just because they're too scared to chase their own. Support is pure. It doesn't expect a return. It's rooted in love, respect, and alignment. When someone supports you, you feel lighter after talking to them. You feel more focused, more motivated, more grounded. They give you clarity. They give you energy. They add to your vision, not subtract from it. But silent sabotage, that's a whole different vibration. That's when someone pretends they're in your corner, but moves like they'd rather see you stuck instead of soaring. It's the friend who tells you your idea is too much or risky right when you start gaining confidence. It's the family member who never checks on your progress until it's time to point out what's not working. It's the person who says, "I'm happy for you," but their eyes tell a whole different story. And the real danger, they don't attack your dreams. They attack your belief in yourself. Because if they can dilute your confidence, they don't have to stop your path, you'll stop yourself. Silent sabotage shows up in little moments. Someone forgets to invite you to a space where an opportunity was waiting. Someone speaks your name in a room full of doubt instead of a room full of power. Someone gives you advice that sounds helpful but pushes you backward. Someone gaslights your intuition, making you question the very things that could protect you. Someone pretends they don't see the progress you're making because acknowledging it would mean admitting you're elevating beyond the version of you they're comfortable with. People sabotage quietly because it keeps them innocent in the eyes of others. They don't want to look like a hater, so they move with shadows. They don't openly compete with you. They just never want you too far ahead. And the truth is, some people love you as long as you stay on the level they met you on. The moment you break out of that version, they feel threatened. Not because you're better, but because they stayed the same. Real supporters don't feel threatened by your growth. They study your moves so they can clap, not copy. They share your wins behind closed doors, not just on social media. They want to see you eat, even if they're not hungry. You'll always know the difference by how a person reacts when you're blessed. Do they smile with you, or do they go silent? Do they celebrate, or do they redirect the attention? Do they lift your name up, or do they try to pull your energy down with doubt? Their reaction to your success tells you everything. People who silently sabotage you will never admit what they're doing. They'll hide it under jokes, under concern, under just keeping it real. But pay attention to how you feel after being around them. Do you feel less sure of yourself, less inspired, more confused? Your energy knows. It recognizes what your eyes can't see. And here's the truth, you don't have to confront anyone, expose anyone, or argue with anyone. Silent sabotage dies when you stop giving silent access. Protect your vision. Protect your mission. Not everyone deserves front row seats to your progress. The people meant to walk with you will make your journey feel lighter, not heavier. The ones who secretly root for your downfall will reveal themselves through consistency, not mistakes. Keep your circle solid. Keep your spirit guarded. Keep your dreams protected. Some people clap for you only because it keeps their hands busy while they figure out how to slow you down. But once you recognize the difference between support and sabotage, nobody can play both roles in your life again. Patterns over promises, that's a truth most people don't want to face because it forces you to stop believing in potential and start believing in reality. A promise is easy. Anybody can say the right words, paint the right picture, make you feel like they're solid. But a pattern tells the whole story. A pattern is a person's real character showing up when nobody's watching. It's the truth repeating itself. And when you learn to read patterns instead of falling for promises, you stop getting blindsided by people who've been showing you who they are from the start. People promise change every day. They promise loyalty, consistency, honesty, growth. They promise to do better, be better, show up better. But a promise without action is just a delay to disappointment. And a lot of people will use promises to keep you from holding them accountable. They'll apologize, they'll cry, they'll explain, they'll blame their past, anything to reset your expectations so they can keep doing the same thing tomorrow. That's why you can't listen to what people say. You gotta watch how they move. You ever notice how someone can say, "I got you," but when you need them, they're nowhere? Or they say, "I'll change," but the same problems keep repeating like a broken record. That's because promises come from the mouth, but patterns come from the heart. A person might lie with their words, but they'll always tell the truth with their actions. Always. Patterns reveal who someone is when the excitement fades, when the pressure hits, when nobody's checking on them, when they're not trying to impress you. A person can promise loyalty in front of you while building betrayal behind your back. But their consistency or lack of it will eventually show. They'll slip in the same ways, hurt you in the same ways, disappear at the same moments. That's not an accident. That's not coincidence. That's who they are. People show you their patterns through how they handle small things. If someone lies about little things, they'll lie about big things. If someone breaks small commitments, they'll break major ones. If someone only shows up when it benefits them, that's not support, that's convenience. You can learn more about a person's future by studying their past behavior than by listening to their future promises. And sometimes we don't want to accept patterns because it means letting go of the version of someone we created in our minds. We love the idea of who they could be. We hold on to their potential. We tell ourselves, one day they'll change. One day they'll grow. One day they'll treat me better. But one day is how people waste years. Potential is the biggest trap when it's not backed up by evolved behavior. Growth has a pattern too. You can feel it. You can see it. You can hear it in the way someone talks about their goals, in the way they move, in the way they handle setbacks. Someone who's really evolving doesn't need to announce it. Their behavior shifts. Their circle shifts. Their habits shift. Their priorities shift. You see the pattern before you hear the promise. And that's how you know it's real. A person who genuinely wants to change doesn't repeat the same cycles that broke you. They don't apologize and then go right back to the same thing. They don't keep choosing comfort over growth. They show their effort through consistency, even if they're not perfect. Real change shows up in small steps every day. Fake change shows up in temporary moments of guilt. When you learn to trust patterns, your life gets clearer. Pain becomes preventable. Disappointment becomes rare. You stop giving second chances to people who waste the first ones. You stop arguing with behavior that already told you the truth. You stop trying to rewrite a story that someone keeps writing the same way. And the crazy part is, once you start trusting patterns, you don't even get mad at people anymore. You just understand who they are and adjust. You stop expecting loyalty from someone who's never been loyal to themselves. You stop expecting consistency from someone who can't stay consistent with their own goals. You stop expecting honesty from someone who lies to their own reflection. Your peace grows when your expectations match the patterns you see, not the promises you're told. When someone shows you who they are over time, believe it. Don't wait for a moment that cancels out years of repetition. Don't let a sweet promise outweigh a toxic history. Don't get caught up in what you hope someone becomes. Respect what they've already shown you. The truth is simple. People can promise anything, but they can only repeat what's inside them. The pattern is the person. The rest is just talk. Boundaries expose intentions in a way nothing else can. You can know somebody for years, share moments, share struggle, share history. But the second you draw a line, the second you say, "This is what I need," you see their real spirit. People love you as long as you're convenient, as long as you're available, as long as you're giving. But tell them no, tell them you're busy, tell them you're focused, tell them you're changing, and watch how fast their mask slips. That reaction is the truth they've been hiding the whole time. Setting a boundary is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see who's standing with you and who's only standing close because the darkness covered their intentions. When you tell someone you can't show up the way you used to, their response reveals whether they valued you or just what you did for them. Some people don't want a relationship. They want access. They want your time, your energy, your loyalty, your resources, your attention. They want the old version of you because that version served them. The moment you start demanding respect or balance, they feel threatened. A boundary isn't disrespect, it's direction. It's you saying, "This is where my peace lies. This is what I won't accept. This is what I deserve." But people who benefit from you having no boundaries will always call your boundaries a problem. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're selfish. They'll say you're distant. But the truth is, you're just finally choosing yourself in a way that doesn't include them taking advantage. Pay attention to the ones who get emotional when you enforce something simple. Tell someone, "I can't talk right now. I need some space," and see if they respect it or guilt trip you. Tell someone, "I don't like jokes like that," and see if they apologize or tell you, "You're too sensitive." Tell someone, "I can't give you money this time," and watch if their gratitude turns into attitude. The boundary didn't upset them. Losing control did. Losing unrestricted access did. Losing the ability to drain you without challenge did. Boundaries make insecure people uncomfortable because they force them to confront their own behavior. They can't hide behind excuses anymore. They can't blame you for their actions. A boundary puts the truth on the table. Either they honor your needs or they expose their intentions. People with real love in their heart adjust. They might not like the boundary. They might not understand it at first, but they'll respect it because they respect you. People with hidden motives get defensive. They push back. They get offended. They create drama because the boundary cuts off the part of the relationship where they took without giving. You ever notice how somebody can be cool with you until you stop overextending yourself, until you stop dropping everything for them, until you stop letting things slide? Boundaries show you who valued the relationship and who valued the benefits. It's a spiritual filter. It removes the fake without you having to do anything but honor your own worth. And boundaries don't just expose intentions, they strengthen your life. You get clearer. You get quieter inside. You stop feeling drained after conversations. You stop carrying weight that's not yours. You stop attracting chaos. The right people understand your boundaries because they have their own. The wrong people get angry because your growth means the version of you they relied on no longer exists. When you start protecting your energy, you start seeing who was only there for what they could take. When you require respect, you see who was comfortable disrespecting you. When you demand honesty, you see who lives behind lies. When you ask for effort, you see who never planned to give any. Boundaries don't ruin relationships, they reveal which relationships were solid and which ones were illusions. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to justify your healing. You don't need to defend your standards. If someone can't handle you valuing yourself, that's their limitation, not yours. And once you see someone's reaction to your boundaries, believe it. Don't try to make excuses for them. Don't fall for sweet words after foul behavior. Don't let history blind you to reality. People can pretend forever when they have unlimited access to you. But the moment you draw a line, the truth walks out. And that truth is your blessing, not your loss. Boundaries don't push the wrong people away. They help you see they were never standing close for the right reasons to begin with. Protect your purpose like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. Your purpose is the core of who you are, the reason you wake up with hunger, the fire that pushes you through seasons where nothing makes sense. It's that inner voice that won't let you settle, won't let you quit, won't let you live small. And once you start living in that purpose, once you start moving in alignment, you'll notice something. Not everybody around you is built to handle that. Not everybody around you wants to see you honor that. Some people fear your purpose because it reminds them they abandoned theirs. Purpose is a powerful thing. It's magnetic. It draws opportunities, blessings, and growth, but it also attracts envy, doubt, and distraction. Some people won't attack your purpose directly. They'll distract you so much that you never get a chance to build it. They'll waste your time, drain your energy, keep you wrapped up in cycles that make you forget the mission. Not because they're evil, but because they're comfortable with the version of you that doesn't know how powerful you really are. Protecting your purpose means learning to separate love from access, loyalty from longevity, and history from alignment. Your purpose grows best in environments that push you, not pull you. You can't protect your purpose if you're surrounded by people who think small, talk small, and dream small. You can love them, you can support them, you can care for them, but you can't let them shape your mindset, because the moment you let someone with a limited vision influence your thinking, your purpose gets watered down. Your dreams get quiet. Your ambition gets second-guessed. Your confidence gets chipped away by people who never built anything themselves. Protecting your purpose means guarding your mind from the noise around you. You ever notice how some people only show up when you're confused, when you're doubting yourself, when you're lost? They love you when you're low because your low makes them feel comfortable. But the moment you elevate, the moment you start talking belief, discipline, strategy, and work ethic, suddenly they don't understand you anymore. Suddenly they're distant. Suddenly they're annoyed. That's because your purpose demands a version of you they can't match. And instead of rising with you, they want to pull you back to the level where they felt safe. That's why you got to protect your purpose. You can't dim your light just so someone else feels less insecure. Protecting your purpose also means protecting your time. You can't be available for everybody and expect to grow. You can't say yes to everything and expect to evolve. You can't let people drain you emotionally and still have the capacity to build what you're meant to build. Purpose requires focus. Purpose requires sacrifice. Purpose requires discipline when nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, and nobody's checking in to make sure you're staying consistent. It's on you. And the more you value your time, the more you'll see who actually treats it with respect. People will try to talk you out of your purpose without even realizing what they're doing. But they'll tell you your dream is too big, the path is too risky, the timing is too soon, the work is too much. And if you're not careful, you'll start internalizing their fears as your reality. But understand this, people project their limitations, not your destiny. They speak from their wounds, not your vision. Protecting your purpose means not letting someone else's fear rewrite the story you're meant to live. And sometimes the biggest threat to your purpose is your own doubt. That voice that whispers you're not ready, not skilled enough, not experienced enough. But doubt is just the echo of old versions of you trying to keep you safe. Purpose doesn't thrive in safety, it thrives in movement. It thrives in faith. It thrives in taking steps even when you can't see the whole staircase. Protecting your purpose means betting on yourself even when your circumstances try to bet against you. You don't need everyone to understand your purpose. You don't need everyone to support it. You don't need validation, applause, or permission. You just need commitment. You just need consistency. You just need the courage to say, this is mine. This is what I'm building. And nothing, nobody, no energy, no setback is going to pull me off this path. At the end of the day, protecting your purpose is protecting your future. It's protecting your peace. It's protecting your evolution. You came too far, survived too much, and learned too many lessons to let someone who wasn't with you in the struggle pull you off your mission now. Stay grounded. Stay focused. Stay aligned. Protect your purpose with everything you've got, because when you honor it, everything else in your life falls into place.